Hey y'all, Pi here, and we are back with Mahira for the Afterward. I asked you guys to ask any questions you might have had about Mahira, the LP, the mods, whatever, and I got a couple of responses. So I'm just going to start with the shortest one because that's going to be the easiest to answer. Average Gamer asked, "Can you cook in this game?" And the answer is not the way I have it set up, but there are mods. Mods can make just about anything happen if you need that experience in your life. And then Linda R asked several questions, so I'm just going to take these one at a time. First was, I'd be interested in hearing more about your intentions for Mahira as a character and how your feelings evolved over the course of the LP. So, originally, I was going to open every single episode with a journal excerpt from Mahira. But the mod that I was trying to use wouldn't work for some reason. So, eventually I had to let that go, which honestly was kind of painful for me because I had so many journal entries already planned and all of them had to be tossed. And originally also I was going to do a lot more editing than I ended up doing. I was basically going to get rid of all loading screens, all quest pop-ups, absolutely everything that makes this look like a game rather than a TV show or a movie. And while I have the technical knowledge to make that happen, time was the biggest reason why I ultimately decided, you know what? Not gonna work. I cannot hold down a full-time job and spend literal hours or days on each episode of this series and keep up with my upload schedule. It's not gonna happen. So that also had to change. And I did actually get one episode edited like that, and it was too much. It was way too much. I knew by the time I was halfway through that there was no way in hell I was going to be able to maintain that level of production quality by myself and do literally anything else at the same time. So I had to let go of that one too. Next question was, what was your initial vision for the series? Where did you have to make compromises? I guess in some respect I've kind of already answered that to some degree. But my original vision was to communicate more of Mahira's backstory, to have her backstory be much more present in her day-to-day life through this series. But without the journal entries, it was a lot harder to organically weave that into the story without having long monologues. And I did do monologues for a bit there, and kind of tapered off at the end because A, the game was glitching a bit and I couldn't get good footage to put monologues over, and B, the monologues took a lot of extra time, which again, time is kind of an issue. I don't get paid to do this. The thing I get paid to do takes a lot of my time, so it's one of those things. If I had limitless time and limitless energy, Would the series have been very different? Yes, absolutely. There would have been so much more to this, and her backstory wouldn't just have been the jumping off board. It would have been basically her every conscious moment would tie back into what she's been through. Did I have a favorite part during the journey? Do I have a favorite part of this? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure on that. Because as the story has progressed, I've kind of had moments that I was really proud of, and I've had moments that I was really kind of embarrassed that it had to be in the final cut of a video. But I don't know. I'm not too sure about that one, actually. I'm not sure. I'll have to rewatch it at some point, which is difficult. I don't know if other creators have this problem, but after editing the video and getting the final version up on YouTube, you kind of just don't ever want to look at it again. Next was just generally saying that they wouldn't mind seeing more of Mahira. And finally, another question I got is whether Mahira is transgender, since I think I noticed the male voice files on her, but I might be mistaken. Now, yes, actually, Mahira is transgender. She's a trans woman. And that is something that I had in my mind from the moment I conceived her. But at the same time, I didn't really want to come right out and, plaster over the first episode, trans woman, because I felt like that would just be obnoxious and turn her into more of a token than a character, and I didn't want to do that to her. I wanted her to stand on her own, and I wanted you guys to get to know her as the woman that she is without necessarily having that any baggage you might associate with the term trans. And I did actually want people to figure out as the LP progressed that she is trans, and I didn't want that necessarily to be a secret. I just wanted each viewer to kind of come to that realization on their own, in doing so sort of just like realize that a trans character is functionally the same as any other character, and that being trans is not her only characteristic, if that makes sense to all of you. And to those of you who are trans, I would love your feedback on this. Have I been respectful of the trans community with this character? Just please let me know. If I fucked up, please let me know. And that is the end of the questions for now. And that's the end of this Afterward. My only other comment at this point would be that personally, I kind of want to do more with Mahira. But, big but, I am going to leave that up either to my Patreon, my patrons, if I have enough of those by the end of this year, or to my community at large, depending on how big I've grown by that point. I don't know. I'm spitballing for the future here. But there will be a poll, and who it's available to will kind of depend on where I am by the end of the year to decide whether or not I'm going to come back to this game and whether or not I'm going to come back to this character. But there will be another mini-series next year around the same time. Because I've enjoyed this. I have genuinely enjoyed the challenge of making this work. And I want to give it another go and give it a little bit more polish and see if I can refine my craft enough to maybe give you guys a little bit closer the quality of product I originally wanted this series to be. So yeah, that's my full 2 cents on everything, and I appreciate all of you who have watched up to this point. I appreciate all the comments I've gotten. Like, you guys are awesome. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And I hope you'll stick with me through whatever I end up doing next.